Alright, thanks for tuning in. This is Colby. Today we're going to take a look at No Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch, which is a Japanese RPG with kind of art design and animation and style done by Studio Ghibli. It has a long storied history doing animated films, and they've teamed up with Level 5. Level 5 is the team actually putting together the game, the RPG. Let's see, make sure we're going the right direction. So what we're looking at here is we're actually about 35 hours in. A lot of the unlocks done, a lot of the story moving along, but I just wanted to get a section of the game that gives a good vertical slice of what the different things that the game has to offer. Here we're in the overworld. Gonna go take a little journey here. We're going to see a kind of a boss battle. Give us a chance to hear some of the voice acting. The voice acting and the animation is some of the best stuff in the game. At the beginning of the game, it's actually pretty heavy on the animated cutscenes, which is one of my favorite parts. And then as you get deeper and deeper into the game, you get less cutscenes, and the cutscenes become more and more just text, less voice acting, which is a little disappointing, but still, what you do get out of the animated cutscenes is awesome. Let's see here. It plays a little bit, as far as the fighting system goes, the battle system goes, it plays a little bit on kind of what Persona 4, the Persona series offers, of you're capturing different creatures with different strengths and weaknesses and different progression trails, and throwing them out to fight for you on behalf of you and utilizing their skills. Unlike Persona 4, you can actually just, well, I guess you can do this in Persona 4 as well, as you can just battle as your own character. It's not turn-based, and there is no well, your party members do fight fully automated, but because it's not turn-based, it's just real time. You're able to go and to jump into any one of your other party members, into any of the other familiars, which is like the personas that your party members have. So you have like 12 different battle options to choose at any one time. But we'll look at this battle, get a little bit of taste of the voice acting and animation, as well as the battle system all in one go. Persona 4 came out, or excuse me, No Kuni came out, I believe it was January, February, March of this year, and so at this point you can get it for $20, $25, and if you're somebody who's into JRPGs, can put up with the grinding and the different tropes that goes along with them, then I would highly recommend it. I haven't quite completed it yet, but I'm getting there. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. One thing that I really like about it is that you're never lost as to where any main quest or side quest wants you to go. Any main quest is going to show up as a giant star on your map, as you may have noticed beforehand. Leads you right where you need to go. If you're doing a side quest, usually in the text of the side quest, you'll get an idea of where the city or the general area you need to go. And then once you get there, your mini-map will have a glowing dot that shows where specifically to go for that mission. I actually ended up grinding for a side mission, so I'm now way over leveled, so this should be actually pretty easy. So you do have free motion here. I can run around in circles while my other party members, familiars, fight the battle. Like that guy's powering up for an attack. But then once you hit attack, that becomes automated. He takes 3 or 4 stabs on his own until his little timer runs out. You defend for a certain set amount of time. You need to learn to defend because that's how you're going to earn these little HP and MP refills that spout off of the enemies.
We did it!
Like I said, that was pretty easy. Way easier than it should be at this point of the game, but I'm over leveled. But with this other battle will be a little bit better chance to take a look at some of the other stuff in the battle system. I think that there's like 400 different familiars that you can capture and use. Something that's kind of disappointing is it doesn't give you a chance to... It doesn't give you any reason to switch the familiars you're using. Obviously, if you're going into the ice caves, you should have some fire familiars, but with only 3 or 4 different elements to choose from, you're already bound to have a fire familiar leveled up, and so it doesn't give you any incentive to try a new one because they're going to be way under leveled at that point. So the leveling system is far from perfect, but it's fine because it's not what I'm here for. I'm here for the story and for, like I said, the beauty of the art, and the animation, and characters are pretty decent. Actually, a little dark than you might expect for the animation style. One simple way that I would sum up this game in whole is if Costume Quest was kind of your very, very first RPG, this is going to be your second JRPG. But just as far as getting that dopamine drip of leveling stuff up between your 3 party members and each of the 3 familiars that each of them has, you have 12 different creatures that are leveling up every battle. So you're bound to have somebody leveling up after almost every single battle, which, like I said, is kind of nice to have that constant progression.
If you want it, you best come and get it. Them's the rules of the sea. Come at you!
Alright, let's make sure we take a little bit of a look. Let's fight as Oliver here for a moment. Oliver's got spells you can choose from. He's a magic caster. Anything you're going to do with just attacking him can get anywhere. You have control over your other party members just through kind of passive tactics orders. I have Esther kind of playing the healer, buff, debuff role, going attacking, and then you can pick which target you want them to choose. I got that set, and since I set it, I haven't touched it at all. I just let them do their own thing. Occasionally, I'll jump over to Esther, you know, because I know because this persona has a far better heal than anybody else, or Swain has a far better defensive persona than anybody else. Here, by pressing one of the triggers, I get the game to pause and can choose either different party members or different familiars from the party member that I've selected. So you have a defend works. And just to go show you how much of a first RPG this is, every time you get into a boss battle, your little companion here will pop up and say, hey, this is how you should be trying to beat this guy. It's kind of silly, but it doesn't bother me because, like I said, I'm not here for tactical RPG, I'm here for the story and for the characters. Let's jump back to Oliver.
I'll do my best.
Because I haven't seen it really incentive to switch familiars, this guy I got here, he's the guy I've been playing with the entire game. First familiar I got. These gold orbs popping off will refill your health all the way and then allow your familiar to do his super move. The music's great, the writing's great, the animation's great. Kind of all the parts that are around the game are unfortunately probably better than the actual game itself.
What can I say? It's a gift.
that gives you a little bit of an idea of how the battle systems work. Might get to hear some more voice acting here. Constantly leveling up. Each of the different familiars have a different threshold. Most of them are around 20, and then you feed them a gem and they metamorph, they evolve into their next form.
These curvy dogs.
And when they metamorph, they go back to level 1. So you have to be careful when you choose to metamorph or evolve your familiars, because then you're out of a level 30 familiar and you're back to level 1. Alright, well, we'll jump out of here, and I want to take a look at how the side missions work. I really like the structure that's been given to those, so let's go ahead and take a look at those. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the side missions here in one of the little cities we found. A lot of them have to do with virtues or emotions, however you want to say it. You'll go find somebody who has an excess of emotion, and I think in this particular case we're going to find somebody who has love. They'll tell you a little story, you know, about how loving of a person they are, and then, you know, you're able to cast a spell, take the excess of love that they have from that person. There are like 8 different virtues you can take: enthusiasm, confidence, restraint. Pile that into your locket and run away with that and give it to somebody who is in need of it. So here we are down in Yule now. We took the really fast travel system, which is to edit the clip. Run around the city. You can see on the mini-map different people that are glowing, either because they are in need or have an excess of emotion. This lady will go on about her sob story about how she no longer loves her husband. And then you cast the reverse spell to give her the love that you took from the other character. It's rewarding in that you get to hear these kind of little stories from different characters and take and give between them and fulfill the character's wants that way. But then on top of that, you also get obviously your gameplay rewards of loot, some cash, and helping to get perks through the merit badge card or the merit card stamps. There are different kinds of side missions. These are the majority of them, but there are side missions of, hey, go capture these 3 familiars and let me study them. Hey, I lost my journal, please go find that for me out in the overworld. Go beat 8 of these kind of bad guys. Learn how to alchemize this certain recipe. There's a pretty good wide variety of side missions, but what I really appreciate about them is that they always give you a lot of direction into where you should go and how you should solve them. There's never any mystery. I don't like just playing the random game of talking to every character in town trying to figure out a side mission. As you can see, here's one of the towns, though. There's 6 or 8 different towns, and plenty to do between your main missions, plenty of side stuff, plenty of story stuff. It's very cute. Again, I highly recommend the game if you're into RPGs, if for nothing else, for the story, for the animation, for the art.